The idea of attraction can often leave us confused, caught between emotions, doubts, and expectations. But as Stoics, we know that the key to understanding any situation, including attraction, lies in calm observation. When you approach attraction with Stoic principles, you begin to notice not just the obvious signs, but the subtle cues that often go unnoticed. Women, like men, express attraction in subtle ways. Unlike men, however, they often communicate their feelings with nuance. As a Stoic, we recognize that attraction is not just about the physical, it's an emotional and psychological process. It's about how energy, emotions, and connection align. In the next few parts, we'll explore 7 signs that indicate a woman's attraction, but also how we can interpret these signs through the lens of Stoicism. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and responding wisely. As we go through these signs, think about how your own actions and reactions are shaping the dynamics of attraction. Stay grounded and let's dive in. In Stoic philosophy, we're encouraged to observe life with clarity. The Stoics believe that we should avoid being swept away by our emotions or misconceptions. When it comes to attraction, the eyes are one of the first and clearest signals. In fact, the famous Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote about how we should not be distracted by external appearances. Yet when it comes to attraction, our eyes give us so much information. The eyes are a reflection of our inner state. And when a woman is attracted to you, her gaze will give it away, even if she tries to hide it. It's not just about the intensity of the gaze, but the energy that follows it. When she looks at you, her eyes soften, linger, and will often flicker between your eyes and lips. This is a clear sign of attraction. When you understand Stoicism, you realize that the best response to this is not to be nervous or overthink things. Instead, observe the gaze with calm awareness. Her eyes reveal a deeper level of connection, a desire for intimacy, but you remain detached and mindful, recognizing that attraction is natural. Story. I once had a conversation with a woman who, during our exchange, constantly kept her eyes locked on mine. At first, I was unsure if I was reading too much into it, but then I remembered the Stoic principle of observation. I realized that her gaze wasn't just polite, it was sincere and drawn to me. The connection we shared wasn't loud or forceful, but it was felt. When you notice someone's eyes flicking between yours and their lips, don't panic or jump to conclusions. Instead, maintain composure and engage genuinely. The eyes may be subtle, but they speak volumes. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control. When someone touches you, even in seemingly accidental ways, that is their way of communicating. Stoicism reminds us that everything, even the smallest gesture, carries meaning. In a world where we're often caught up in our own anxieties, we can learn a lot from how others use touch to communicate interest. In the case of attraction, touch is primal. It's the most direct way for a person to express what words cannot. A touch on the arm, brushing something off your shirt, or leaning in a little closer, these are all signs that she's feeling the connection, and it's her body's way of making the attraction clear. However, a Stoic approach would be to remain grounded, observing her body language without jumping to conclusions. Does she linger? Does she pull away? Stoics understand that attachment is the root of suffering. So, while touch is a clear sign, the key is not to become overly attached or desperate for more. Instead, appreciate the moment and continue engaging with composure. Story. I once had a conversation with a colleague, and during our talk, she brushed her hand against mine, while reaching for a pen. It was subtle, but I noticed it. Instead of overthinking it, I focused on the conversation. We continued talking, and I could sense that the touch wasn't accidental. It wasn't just a greeting, it was an invitation for a deeper connection. By staying calm and not overanalyzing, I allowed the situation to unfold naturally. Stoicism teaches us that life is full of playful moments and that we should engage with them fully without overreacting. Flirting is one of those areas where Stoicism can really shine. When a woman is attracted to you, she might tease you, challenge you, or even playfully poke fun at you. Rather than viewing this as a game or an obstacle, we approach it with an open mind, recognizing it for what it is, an opportunity to connect. Flirting is her way of introducing tension. Without it, attraction wouldn't exist. She's testing the waters, seeing how far she can go, and how you respond. The key here as a Stoic is to remain composed. Don't get flustered. Instead, engage with humor and confidence. A playful response shows that you're not intimidated or uncomfortable, and that you can hold your own. Story. I was once with a friend who constantly teased me about my taste in music. At first, I wasn't sure if she was serious or just playful, but instead of withdrawing or getting defensive, I laughed it off and teased her right back. That playful back and forth created an undeniable chemistry between us, and by the end of the night, we had connected more deeply than I could have imagined. Mirroring is a psychological phenomenon that is often overlooked. It's when two people unconsciously align their body language because they feel a connection. This is where Stoicism can help us understand the deeper layers of human interaction. The Stoics taught that our inner state is reflected in our actions. When someone mirrors your energy, they are subconsciously aligning with you. If you lean back, she might lean back. If you laugh, she will follow your lead. This mirroring doesn't happen because it's a trick or a game. It's a natural process when two people are connected. It's also a strong sign of attraction because it shows that her body feels at ease with you. A Stoic would view this mirroring as a sign that the energy exchange is positive and the connection is mutual. Instead of getting caught up in the act, we simply observe it, appreciating the natural alignment between the two of you. Story. I recall a time when I was having a deep conversation with someone, and without either of us thinking, we both leaned forward at the same time. It was an unconscious yet clear sign of our shared interest. Neither of us tried to force the connection, but it felt like we were in perfect sync. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of being present. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her attention will be fully focused on you. In a world filled with distractions, phones, notifications, external noise, true presence is a rare and valuable gift. When she gives you her undivided attention, it's a sign that she's emotionally invested in the moment. She's not just listening, she's engaged. This is where Stoic awareness comes into play. Instead of feeling nervous or worried, stay focused on the interaction. Recognize that her attention is a gift and respond accordingly. Story. I remember being in a crowded room, but when I was talking to someone who was truly interested in me, it felt like we were the only two people there. Her focus was entirely on me, and I could tell she wasn't distracted by anything else. It was a feeling of complete presence, a rare and beautiful experience that highlighted her genuine interest. When attraction is mutual, neither person wants the moment to end. If she's finding reasons to extend the interaction, whether it's suggesting a drink or asking you to stay a little longer, that's a sign of genuine interest. As Stoics, we understand the importance of time. Time is a finite resource, And when someone wants to spend more of it with you, it's a clear indication that they value the connection. Rather than feeling pressure, take this as a compliment. When she finds creative ways to extend the interaction, it shows that the energy between you is real and meaningful. Story. I recall a date where the evening felt like it was slipping away too quickly. When it was time to leave, she suggested grabbing another drink. It wasn't about the drink, it was about wanting more of that moment. That's when you know the connection is real. In Stoicism, we understand that much of our world operates on energy and emotion, and how we express ourselves isn't always through words. One of the most subtle signs of attraction comes through her voice. When a woman feels drawn to you, her voice will change, softening, becoming more melodic, and taking on a more inviting tone. This isn't something she's consciously doing. It's a natural response to the emotional connection she feels. Studies have shown that women's vocal pitch drops when speaking to someone they are attracted to. It's nature's way of signaling closeness, an invitation to come closer and share in that connection. As a Stoic, you would recognize that this is a powerful, yet subtle, sign. Rather than reacting to the changes in her voice with overexcitement or confusion, you observe. You stay calm and present, understanding that this shift in her tone is her body's way of communicating a deeper, more intimate attraction. Story. I recall a conversation with a woman where the first time she spoke to me, her voice was confident, but as we continued, it became softer, warmer, and slower. It wasn't forced, it was a natural shift. I didn't need to question it or overanalyze it. The energy between us had shifted to something more genuine and intimate, and her voice was the most telling sign. Stoic insight. In these moments, it's essential to focus on your own presence. Don't be distracted by the change in her voice. Instead, let it deepen your awareness of the connection. The shift in tone is a reflection of her emotions, and your awareness of it enhances the bond. By now, you've seen several signs that might suggest attraction: the lingering gaze, the accidental touches, the playful flirting, and the change in her voice. As Stoics, we believe in the importance of recognizing patterns in life. The same principle applies to human connection. When multiple signs begin to align, that's when you know the attraction is real. Stoicism teaches us that we shouldn't be hasty in making judgments or conclusions, but at the same time, we're encouraged to trust our observations and our reasoning. When you observe her body language, energy, and subtle cues consistently, you start to see a clear pattern that confirms your intuition. Attraction isn't just a one-time event, it's a process. It's built on trust, emotional exchange, and mutual energy. These signs, when they build on each other, form a deeper connection. Recognize them, understand them, and embrace the process of getting to know one another. The Stoic approach here is to trust what you feel and observe, but not to rush into conclusions. Story. I was once talking to a woman who would touch her hair whenever we made eye contact. At first, I thought it was a coincidence, but over time, it became clear that this was a consistent pattern. When I engaged with her, I could see her energy shift. The playful comments, the slight leaning forward, and the laughter all pointed toward mutual attraction. Stoic insight. When these signs start aligning, it's not about jumping to conclusions. Instead, let the natural flow of the connection deepen. Trust your observations without overthinking them, and allow yourself to be present in the moment. In Stoicism, we understand the importance of body language as a reflection of our inner state. Attraction, like all human experiences, is communicated not just through words, but through physical cues, gestures, and even silence. Her body language will tell you everything you need to know if you're paying attention. A woman who is attracted to you will orient her body towards you. Her feet, chest, and hips will be directed at you, showing an openness that is not just physical, but emotional. She might mirror your movements, lean in when you speak, and maintain a posture that signals interest. These are all signs that her body is not only comfortable with you, but is drawn to you. As a Stoic, you see this as a natural response to connection, not something to be feared or overly analyzed. The key here is not to make assumptions, but to observe and respect the space and energy between you. The body speaks a language that is often more honest than words. And when you understand this language, you can navigate human interaction with clarity. Story: I was at a party once when I noticed a woman I had just met standing nearby. She was facing me, her arms relaxed at her sides, and her feet were pointed directly toward me. Every time I spoke, she leaned in slightly, nodding as if she were hanging on to every word. It wasn't a forced gesture, it was instinctual, and it felt genuine. At that moment, I didn't need to ask myself if she was interested. Her body had already told me. Stoic insight. When you encounter body language like this, don't rush to interpret it. Stay calm, notice the signs, and appreciate the natural flow of the interaction. Trust that her body is telling you the truth, and stay grounded in your own presence. Attraction is a complex and subtle process, but when we approach it with Stoic wisdom, we find that it's not something to fear or overthink. It's a natural and beautiful part of human connection. As we've seen throughout these signs, attraction isn't about grand gestures. It's about the small, subtle cues that reveal deep emotional and physical engagement. As Stoics, we understand that our power lies not in controlling others or forcing attraction, but in understanding ourselves and our responses. When you notice these signs, whether it's the lingering gaze, the accidental touches, or the playful flirting, remember to remain grounded in the present moment. Attraction, like life itself, is a process, and when we embrace it with awareness, we open ourselves to deeper connections in a more fulfilled life. Story: I've experienced firsthand how attraction can build over time through subtle actions and shared energy. Once I met a woman who was reserved at first, but as we spent more time together, I noticed the signs, her gaze softening, her touch lingering. It wasn't until later that I realized she had been showing her attraction all along. The connection wasn't forced or rushed. It grew naturally, and it was one of the most fulfilling connections I've ever had. Stoic insight. In the end, attraction isn't about chasing someone or trying to force something that isn't meant to be. It's about recognizing the signs when they appear and allowing things to unfold naturally. Be present, observe, and embrace the connection without attachment. Let the process teach you, and don't rush toward conclusions. As we conclude, remember that attraction is not a mystery. It's a natural process. And when you approach it through the lens of Stoicism, you gain the clarity to understand it. Attraction isn't about grand gestures or flashy displays. It's about subtle connections, energy, and shared presence. By observing the signs, the lingering gaze, the touch, the playful teasing, and the body language, you can truly understand the dynamics of attraction. But as Stoics, we must also remember that the real power lies in how we respond. We don't control others. We only control our actions, reactions, and understanding. So next time you find yourself wondering if a woman is attracted to you, Trust your observations. Stay grounded, remain present, and allow the attraction to unfold naturally. Let go of the need for constant validation or answers. In doing so, you'll find that attraction becomes a natural part of the human experience, one that is full of connection, understanding, and wisdom. Lesson summary: attraction isn't about force or pressure. It's about observation, presence, and understanding. Use Stoic principles to navigate the signs of attraction with clarity and peace. Let the process teach you and embrace the moment without attachment.